Ms. Henderson, you claim that you believed Mr. Henderson was your biological father, but at the age of 15, Mr. Rycraw claimed he is your dad. Ms. Kiles, you have opened your case to prove to the defendant that her deceased son, James, is your 14-month-old daughter, Ava's biological father.
Because he was mad because I wasn't letting him around me. When I was pregnant with her, I didn't let him around me. He went back to, I was in Oklahoma. He moved back to Chicago. He was trying to reach out to me and I kept ignoring him and I wasn't answering his calls. He was calling my grandmother. I told her don't answer her phone because I didn't want to deal with him.
In the case of Kiles versus Light, when it comes to 14-month-old Skylar Ava, the percentage of relatedness is 99%. You are related.
And that my niece needs to know who her family really is. I just need to know too for sure so she can get a peace of mind. He's been her father, he's been her father, and they're gonna remain being her father. And we thank the Lord.
Medic, get the medic.
Someone call the medic, please. Are not the father.
You are there.
I'm so sorry.
Ms. Donna Andrews stepped into the court to clear doubt about her paternity as one day, out of the blue, a man named Glenn was revealed by a tattoo that he was, in fact, her father.
Ms. Andrews, you claim that while at a restaurant recently, you were shocked when Mr. Glenn approached you out of the blue and raised his pant leg to reveal a tattoo of your name on his leg. He believes he is your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor. I was going to a restaurant in Atlanta, a beautiful restaurant, to have something to eat, and I run into him, and he revealed to me that I was his daughter, and he showed me the tattoo on his leg.
The 30-year-old secret was out, but Ms. Andrews didn't believe a word the defendant had to say.
Mr. Glenn, you confess you kept a 30-year secret because a good family raised Ms. Andrews and you didn't want to interfere with that.
That's right, Your Honor.
You say you now believe you have evidence to prove that you are Ms. Andrews' father and you believe today's DNA results will verify your claim.
That's right, Your Honor.
Your Honor, honestly, Mr. Glenn has not been in my life the entire years that I have been living. I was raised by the father. My biological father was in my life. I've never known a Mr. Glenn. I don't know him.
You never knew Mr. Glenn?
I knew of him, but I did not know him enough to say, hey, you're my dad, and now all of a sudden, I knew that he was the father of my youngest sister.
Okay.
Okay. Supposedly we had different fathers, and it was never a question.
Nobody believed Mr. Glenn's side of the story.
Me and her mother grew up together, raised up together, and we started dating in 1976. And then I left for about 8 months. When I left and I came back, Donna was born. She about something like about 2-3 months old, but she didn't never tell me that
she never came and told you
that she was pregnant. I asked her about the child, why she didn't tell me, after her cousin told me about it. I said, why you do that there, Lisa? And then, but she didn't never give me no answer to it. In 77, I went home with her, and I felt like that when she got pregnant.
So you calculated up the time and you felt like that I could be the father.
Right.
And that's when you confronted her mother.
Yes.
Mr. Glenn, what happened that night at the restaurant? Why this day? Why at the restaurant? Why did you pick that time to say it?
Because I hadn't seen her in so long. I knew you were getting raised by a good family.
That does not matter.
And then I was in the street, and I didn't really want to go.
That does not matter.
I didn't really want to.
Why would you wait till my father passed?
But Donna, you already had a feeling that I was part of you.
No, I never had a feeling. No, that's not true. No,
you
I
heard
have
it
never.
before. Then your sister tell you that that's my daughter. That's my daughter. I wish I could just, I want to reach out to her, but I didn't know really how to come at her.
Even Miss Andrews' elder sister denied everything.
My name
is Africa Gates.
Ms. Gates, please state your relationship to Ms. Andrews.
Donna Andrews is my sister. She's my middle sister.
Okay, and you are the
Oldest of 3 girls.
Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Gates, do you believe Mr. Glenn is Ms. Andrews' father?
No, I do not. No, I
Why?
do not. Keep in mind that Donna and Yolanda are 11 months apart. If he had thought that he was her father, okay, keep in mind my mother had to get pregnant again to have my baby sister. And so if he had opportunity to be a father to her.
Right.
He had opportunity to say this when she was an infant.
Okay.
Before she even established a bond with this family, with the Andrews family.
But I didn't know at the time though, because your mother had told him. I didn't know she was pregnant at the time.
As the older sister,
Right.
we know you here the whole time.
The whole time.
You have never in your life
And I've had
heard anything that would suggest that Mr. Glenn.
my mother's side of the family never mentioned this. It was a total shock to me. I just finally accepted that he's the father of my youngest sister.
So why do you think Mr. Glenn is saying this now?
I don't know. And he's never once mentioned to me that he may be Donna's father.
So you have no idea why he would say this,
when
why
the
he would
tattoo day came up, I was just as much shocked as she was.
The results struck Miss Andrews with a roller coaster of emotions and almost wrecked the whole family.
When it comes to the paternity of Ms. Donna Andrews, Mr. Glenn, you are her father.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh God. Oh sis. Oh my God.
No, no.
Just leave her alone. Just
You don't know. Look, you don't know what's going on. It was not my doing.
You still
It was
could have
your mother.
tried.
It
You
it
could have
wasn't
tried.
doing. It was my doing.
I don't care what it say. This man is my father. I came here because I was so sure that this is my father. How dare you? How dare you do this to me?
Next on the list is one of the most heartbreaking episodes of Paternity Court, which opened up with a 33-year-old Miss Henderson who hoped to find her biological father from 2 potential fathers.
Ms. Henderson, you claim that you believed Mr. Henderson was your biological father, but at the age of 15, Mr. Rycraw claimed he is your dad. You are doubtful and have opened today's case to get the truth. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rycraw, you say you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Ms. Henderson is your daughter. You are here with her mother's twin sister, who claims that she too is certain you are the biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rycraw even brought the plaintiff's aunt to testify about his claim.
And then just to know that my sister's resting in her grave and that my niece needs to know who her family really is. I just need to know too for sure so she can get a peace of mind. So we can all move on. But the point is, either way it go, he's been her father, he's been her father, and they're gonna remain being her father. And we thank the Lord.
My daughter.
Tensions rose in the court when Miss Henderson revealed a 3rd potential father.
I know that she's saying that, you know, he's my father, but I need to know the truth. I don't want to. So I asked her. I asked him too. I said, Daddy, are you my daddy? And he told me that he was like, I'm the only daddy you got. And so when my mom came home, I told her, I was like, I know that Walter isn't my dad. I don't look like my sisters. So she just gave me another name. And so I'm just tired of hearing all these different names. I need to know.
So, Ms. Henderson, when you listen to this testimony, does it make you believe that Mr. Rycraw is your biological father?
No, because before my mom passed, I was questioning her. Who was my dad? And she gave me this man's name. It wasn't until I got older that I decided to, you know, go and see this man. So I don't know what to believe right now.
And so what happened when you met him? You said you went to go see him? What happened?
I did, and I thought I looked like him too. And he remembered my mom. And we got a test. And I called to get the results, but they didn't give me the results. So he called me and he told me that he wasn't my dad, so I never saw the results.
So up until that point, did you believe he was your biological father?
That's what my mom told me it was.
Did you build a relationship with that man?
No, I wouldn't allow myself to build it with him or that man because I don't want to be like just building relationships with people and it's not my dad. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want that. I want the truth.
The aunt couldn't take it when Judge Lauren revealed the DNA result of the third potential father.
The other man, the third man, the man your mother told you is your biological father. This court was able to get a hold of those test results. As it relates to this other gentleman, the probability of paternity was determined to be 0.00%. He's not your biological father.
Get the medic, get the medic.
Someone call the medic, please.
3.
The results left the family sobbing as everyone shed a tear over the shocking revelation.
These results prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Henderson versus Rycroft, when it comes to 33-year-old Mercedes Henderson, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Henderson, you are not the father. The next result reads as follows. In the case of Henderson versus Rycroft, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Rycroft, you are not the father.
You are, Dad.
I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry, Miss Henderson. Miss Henderson, do you need to just sit down? You want to sit down, honey? Can you take a deep breath?
This episode of Paternity Court explored the life of a deceased man, James Light, and whether or not he fathered the plaintiff's 14-month-old daughter, Ava.
Ms. Kiles, you have opened your case to prove to the defendant that her deceased son, James, is your 14-month-old daughter, Ava's biological father. You state that you know the defendant is in pain due to the loss of her son, but so are you.
Yes,
and
Your
want
Honor.
nothing more than to give her closure. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
The grieving mother just wanted to clear all the doubts in her mind before accepting Ava as her granddaughter.
Ms. Light, you say Ms. Kiles is a pathological liar, and you claim that as much as you would love for a piece of your son to be here, you don't trust that baby Ava belongs to him. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ava is 14 months old.
Correct.
Have you formed a bond with her?
Yes. That's my heart. My son was raising her. If she wasn't with my son, she was with me. I love
The doubt is still eating away at you.
It's killing me.
Relationship issues were revealed as both parties started telling their side of the story.
It was just a lot going on. He came to me so many times. After he moved her to Oklahoma and got everything furnished, another man answered the phone and tried to claim to be Ava's father and be in her life now and all this other stuff.
That's a lie.
So another man answered the phone and told your son, I'm Ava's father, and I'm in her life now.
And the baby wasn't even born yet.
Did another man answer the phone?
That never happened. Me and James never had any fights or arguments about any females, any males. I was hormonal. I was going through a lot. I was stressful. Our arguments never been about other people in our relationship.
And so why would he make this up with his mother? I mean, what motive would he have to?
Because he was mad because I wasn't letting him around me. When I was pregnant with her, I didn't let him around me. He went back to, I was in Oklahoma. He moved back to Chicago. He was trying to reach out to me and I kept ignoring him and I wasn't answering his calls. He was calling my grandmother. I told her don't answer her phone because I didn't want to deal with him.
The story about a short-term adoption and the difference in name on the birth certificate complicated the situation furthermore.
I decided to give Ava away to a family member, and she named Ava Skylar.
Why are we calling her Ava?
Because that's the name that me and James wanted to name her.
But did he know you were planning to give the baby up for adoption?
He knew afterwards. When I got her back after that week.
She wanted to talk to me in person, I do believe, to let me know. I was supposed to take her to a doctor's appointment, and then we didn't make it to that doctor's appointment, and I received a text letting me know that she didn't have to tell me this, but my grandbaby name is not Ava Jashay. Her name is Skylar Angel. And that's how I found out a couple of weeks ago. On my son's obituary and everything is Ava Jashay Miller.
But in fact, her name was Skylar Angel, and she did not have your son's last name either.
Miller, no.
Judge Lauren broke all the anticipation by revealing the percentage of relatedness between Ava and Miss Light.
I think it's time we get the results. Jerome?
Yes.
Thank you. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Kyles versus Light, when it comes to 14-month-old Skylar Ava, it has been determined by this court. The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Light and Skylar Ava is 99%. You are related.